So it's been a minute since I recorded the last update for Stormhold, and a lot's happened. Season 2 started, and then it stopped. They wiped the season 2, or they're wiping the season 2 server to start fresh on Saturday because they fucked up the ore generation. Very long story short, we ended up redesigning Stormhold because when we I can put up the image, but when we laid down the schematic for this version of Stormhold, it literally stretched to the end of my render distance, and my render distance was at like 700 blocks or something. So this version is really cool and very like grandiose, but very unrealistic for survival, considering our current group of builders. We have a pretty core group. Not all the builders are as active as everybody else. But anyway, we decided to make Stormhold Mini, Stormhold Light, which is still pretty imposing, I would say, for a survival base. Hello, tower. It looks pretty sick. There's been a lot of design things like this sick-ass crane that we've been doing in the redesign, but I want to keep this video short. Resident update, we are at 79 residents now out of, we can have like 144 with this new commons design. So if you're interested in living in this castle, playing with a season 2, still pull up to the Stormhold server if you want to join. Notable changes, the trade hall is the same. We added some like melee holes for blind spots. This is all around just a much more polished version of Stormhold. Because it's smaller, we were able to focus a lot more on getting the actual details right. I simplified the design of the crenellations, of the towers, and everything feels a lot more cohesive and cool, in my opinion. I love this version of Stormhold a lot more, and it'll be a lot easier to build in survival. I also think like look at that, the visual scale and like proportions of this version, especially adding those conical towers that I did, or that I designed. Unai added them all, but yeah. The visual like scene looks a lot cooler in my opinion. Like it matches the source material a lot better, and it's pretty cool. Hang on, hi Quillian. Hang on, let me. How do I hide the chat? Shit. Here, I'll just do this. All right. Yeah, Quillian cameo, bro. Anyway, trade hall is looking good. It's a lot cozier. This is a great example of just us being able to do a lot more in a lot less time. We just completely redesigned the interior with a lot more like warm, centric feeling. We also made this area bigger. I don't know what this is about. Looks like the wither was gone. Somebody built a wither here. The overall layout and design is the same. Warehouse, stables, all that stuff. All that good stuff. The nook and cranny is here. It's been redesigned a little, and I think a chunk of it got cut out with World Edit, but there's also somebody who keeps vandalizing Stormhold with rats. I need to figure out who that is. Yeah, Commons looks really good. A lot cozier design, a lot more loyal to the original concept. I love this new tower layout, the floor layout. That was our builder Brisket. That was his idea to make the floors that high. Very cool, very cool. The bridge has been revamped. We added crenellations. I designed these little thin banners that I originally put on these dock gatehouses that I really love. Obviously, big elephant in the room. And one of our new builders is absolutely cracked and built this absurdly cool beam crane. It's insane. The dude's a legend. I think he also might have been the one that, I don't know. Up here, we have some cool Zweihanders that somebody made. Connection here. There's been a change to this gatehouse where it no longer has stairs on the bottom, but instead is access through a bridge on the top. Apparently they found that shooting from up here onto the bridge is like incredibly lethal. Some of our mercs are getting really good with a crossbow. So there's a little redesign there. These on the commons, if you look at the map, it's a little buggy, I think, but yeah, I added this like kind of pixel art border because before the commons looked a little skinny like this. It bugged out. World Edit and the map do not like each other, but that's what it looks like in practice. Very cool. Very much more like lightning fractal aesthetic. And very simple to do too. It's just like basically map art around the base of the castle. Pretty sick. This section of the castle is still largely unfinished. The season 2 actually starts this Saturday, so in like 2 or 3 days from the time of this recording. Lot still needs to be done, but we got the general schematic down, so we can do like all the finer details in the actual server. This is our warehouse that is now built like a Costco. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I get flashbacks every time I walk into this room because that's what my work looks like. This is our three-floor mega stable garage. It can fit 144 horses if you put 4 horses per pen. There's horses in season 2, by the way. And so that has enough room for all 144 potential residents. That's our new residency cap with the new commons. But we can fit all our horses in that stables now. Barracks, pretty much the same as they were. They do have much nicer design, but I frankly don't have time to go over everything that's new about this design. I don't know what's going on with this wood thing. It's interesting. This is our... Oh, look, they fenced in the training area. What the hell? Why? Weird. Okay. This was supposed to be an open field for training. I don't know what happened, but I can talk with Unai about it. Great Hall is smaller, but honestly, Brisket and I agree. This is just like better. It's a much better sense of scale. Feels a lot more like historically grounded, and also grounded for survival. Everything is just kind of scaled down a lot. There's like a cool kitchen back here. Oh, and I just, murked the fucking wall. Hang on. Let me fix that. Good as new, good as new, good as new. I'll try not to break anything else. Yeah, Great Hall looks good. The major design changes from the original is the addition of this stable for everybody's horses. The whole layout's just been kind of tweaked to be more space efficient was the idea. That was a very grandiose structure that there was so much empty space that was just not really being used. It was kind of unnecessary to make a castle that absurdly large, especially in survival, with the exception of like aura points basically. But we decided against it. So we don't burn ourselves out and actually have time to play do other things during the wipes than just build Stormhold. In here, oh, they've been doing some work. This is the new smithy and tannery building. Beam work by yours truly, of course. I decided to opt out of the beams on the cobblestone instead. I think it looks a lot more visually appealing than just spamming the beams everywhere. It's also a little more time efficient, which is nice. This is our crazy new windmill design, based off these like modded vertical windmills. Pretty cool. These towers now have cages, and there's 2 windmills, one for the tannery, one for the smithy. We want to add another for the keep for like the kitchen, but that's still kind of a work in progress. This is very cool though. Who is this? Constructor, I think. That's the guy who built the windmills or designed them. Yeah, keep. Brisket, the guy who did the Great Hall, did this lovely little tavern kind of kitchen area. Very, very cool. Very, very cozy, and exactly what we were looking for in the keep. The rest of the keep is still kind of in a vacant Amazon warehouse, but we can deal with that as time goes on. We're kind of out of time. But back here, very, very massive change that we're all super proud of. This is our new Storm Chapel. So instead of on the other one where it's just kind of like a, standard kind of Gothic arches, that kind of Norman type stuff, we opted for a much more open plan design. One of our builders, DJ, he was originally building this scaffold. What the hell? Get this shit out of here. Who put this here? Maybe that's a bit harsh. There we go. Yes, this is the Storm Chapel design that we came up with. The idea is that now it's like open to the sky, So when it's raining, the whole chapel will be stormy. They also changed the pews, which looks nice. They were originally stone. But yeah, the idea is that instead of having like grandiose architecture, it's like the sky as part of our ideology, our faith, is what we worship. So it's like we're surrounded by it in this open plan environment. It looks very cool when this is off to when the whole castle is facing west, because then the sunset makes it look really cool. That's something I like to incorporate in the actual base location. Yes. So it's kind of surrounded by the skies. If it's raining, storming, thundering, then you're like surrounded and worshiping in the elements, you know? That's like our whole like religion of Stormhold. There's a new like ideology system in season 2. And so this was our thing for it. They're actually removing like the lore content from the game. It's going to be kind of like a Homo sapiens mode type thing. So what we did, and look at this. Oh, I fell down a ladder. No, Bepsi is our arbiter, I think is the term. And they redesigned the Thunderhead figure to be like a storm-based dragon, like a dragon spirit that controls or is like the deific representation of the sky and of the storm, with dominion over the seas. So obviously our sacrificial altar is surrounded by a void down into the ocean. And then these off to the side, lovely design. Ostro from season 1. He designed these. He's our resident singer from the Wild Song. And these are their shrines of life. This is the one for rebirth. I love this like mossy cove thing. And then down here, I don't know if he made it yet. Looks like he hasn't gotten to it yet, but the death shrine is supposed to be here. Excuse the coughing. I've been doing that constantly. The past week I got very sick while we were building this. You might be able to hear a little bit of it in my voice. But I've mostly recovered, so it's not a big deal. But yes, that is our new Storm Chapel concept. As it looks a little like From Software compared to the rest of the castle, but I love it. And I think it fits our themes very well of just embracing the sky and the sea and all that. Out here, the crops are gonna go. Nobody's made the plots for those yet. Behind here is a secret windmill that powers the smithy, or helps power the smithy. And yeah, that is the new design of Stormhold in a very, very abridged nutshell. I can actually show you the inside of these commons buildings. I designed most of this, actually. I did the world edit for most of this castle this time. The first castle was done primarily by DJ and others, or some of our builders. But I had a lot bigger hand in the actual build process this time. So I'm a lot prouder of this design, because it feels a lot truer to my original concept, and I don't know. I like the changes we made. I'm not going to take all the credit for it, but there is a little bit of pride in my voice from working so hard on this. I actually took vacation time for the season 2 start, like the wipe. I took a couple of days of paid time off from work because I wanted to just go ham on the new wipe. And then literally the first day we stayed up like 13 hours into the night, and I woke up the next morning and they said, yeah, we're just wiping the whole server because we fucked up. So season 2 got super delayed, so I spent all my vacation time building this, which I think is a much better version of Stormhold for many reasons. Most, if not all of our builders all agree. We love this a lot more. God, yeah, look at that. Look at that skyline, bro. That is so sick. So that's Stormhold. I can show you the comments here real quick. This is the little commons design I came up with. It's got like a 3x3 hallway, and then these rooms here that are like basically 2 rooms wide. Originally we had them like sardines, where half of these was a room, but we went against it, or we decided against it, because we had a lot more common space. You'll notice the branches of this on the map. On the old version, there's only like 5 or 6 commons. 5 commons. On here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8. So we can fit a lot more rooms into these branches of the commons with much less space. Like, if you look at the actual size of the castle, it's very, very different. It's just the scale and everything. I feel like this is a lot more like epic, grandiose, but this was definitely a creative mode version of the castle. Building this thing in survival would have been an absolute nightmare. For all of our builders. So this is the redesign. Yes, this is Stormhold version 2, the final version we will be building in Vintage Story Season 2. If you'd like to join us in Stormhold, do head over to the Vintage Story Civilization Discord in the description. Come through to our faction if you would like to join us and get whitelisted to play. And yeah, I'll be making videos on that starting this Saturday. So yeah, stay tuned. Until next time. Also, hey, I'm just gonna put this in the video somewhere, but a couple people have expressed interest, and as I'm running a build server for people that build Stormhold and stuff, a couple people expressed interest in supporting me a little financially for like server costs, that kind of thing. So I just thought, you know, if anyone out there wants to support the channel, I have a little Ko-Fi page that I set up. You can support for however the fuck much you want to send. Yeah. Oh, I should mention, people who support on this page, I'm gonna put their names at the end of every video in like a credits section, or maybe at the start. I'm not sure yet. But I just thought I'd throw this in the video, and I'll probably promote it in future videos as well, just as like a, hey, I'm too small to get sponsorships, and for those of you that may be inclined to support, the option is there. So, yeah, I'll put the link on screen. Thanks. Bye.